Hi beautiful people, hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far. Let's just get straight into this video because I have questions and maybe you guys can enlighten me. So please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. So Katie Joy did an Instagram live yesterday and immediately I noticed that she was very upbeat and confident opposed to Friday, just 4 days ago, when in my opinion, Katie looked defeated, like all the air was sucked out of her, like she had seen a ghost. But anyway, so KJ had a major breakthrough where ex-members of the church has apparently contacted her and informed her of why the church split in 2008. So here goes.
And they, after Catherine gets in a fight and Robert refuses to do whatever she wants, she confronts the girls and they all go together to the church in 2008. And she basically tells in front of the whole congregation that Robert was married to Shirley, which was something that they were keeping secret. And that while married to Shirley, he was also promising other women that they were going to be married to him. And then these women were giving him sexual favors behind closed doors. And it was basically like an abuse of power because he was using his position as a pastor and like luring them in with like knowing that he's already married, right? So he's married to one woman, telling these other women, well, you're going to be my wife as long as you do these things. That's the allegation. So Robert apparently gets up and he tells the church that yes, he was sexually inappropriate with these women. He acted inappropriately. He claimed that there was no penetration, but multiple former members said that he told the church he has a high desire for sex and it's always something that he's wanted. He has a high sex drive, and so he just wants to have sex all the time, and he loves beautiful women. And it's okay though, because he is a fallen man and he's not perfect, right? He made a mistake and he's deeply sorry and he's apologizing to the women, and multiple people that were there called this super traumatic. And the women, some of them got up and they accused him and they were yelling at him, and they were horrified and outraged. And they, once he confessed to this, left the church. So the 4 victims that he was doing this to, they decided to leave. And he then apparently tried to downplay what happened with those that stayed. And so those that stayed kind of just believed that it was just the young girls throwing themselves at him, and it was all nothing. It wasn't a big deal. It was much to do about nothing. And that was kind of like it. So he then, Shirley stayed with him for a period of time, said the people that stayed. And then she eventually was removed by Robert. She started working a lot, and Robert just didn't want her anymore. So he replaced her very abruptly with Hannah. Hannah was loyal to him and decided to stay with him. So he promised apparently to reward her for her loyalty. By the way, her sister was one of the victims. So her sister was one of the women that was the massages, and she had been previously victimized by Robert through that, according to the people that I spoke to. And so her sister left, but Hannah stayed.
First of all, did KJ just out a victim? Because to me, that sounds like she outed a victim. Secondly, I have confirmed that Hannah only has one sister, and bear that in mind, okay? Now let's go back to March 21st. She posts Robert Shinn's harem. Robert Shinn spotted out by the Daily Mail. Shinn is with Shirley Kim in the back. Her face is not visible. Longtime member Chrissy Keller, who works in the entertainment industry and is the cult's accountant per my source. Keller is married to another member of the church. Wife Hannah Shinn is in the tan, which bleached hair, whatever. Robert was actually interested in Hannah's sister for a long time, but she was married to his nephew. Hannah replaced Shirley Kim as his wife. Women follow Robert around like he's a God, says the former member. And as you guys, there's a screenshot which I can show you. This was posted on March 21st. Now let's go back to this part where it says wife Hannah Shinn in the tan with bleached hair. Robert was actually interested in Hannah's sister for a long time, but she was married to his nephew. So what happened to the story of he took these 4 young ladies into a back room and did inappropriate things, and one of the victims was Hannah's sister. But previously, she says Hannah's sister was married to his nephew. Does that make any sense to anybody? And let's not forget, as I said, I've confirmed, Hannah only has one sister. Is Katie Joy making up stories to fit her storyline? So which is the right story? This story that she reported on today, or was this the right story that she posted on March 21st? And then these ex-members were talking to Katie Joy about what's going on or what happened in the church before it split. So they took it upon themselves to let Katie Joy know this.
I forgot. Some of you guys had brought up Slavic's fundraiser. And the fundraisers. So Slavik did a weird fundraiser for Ukraine, and he said that his dad is a mayor and all the money was going to go through Ukraine, and he set it up on this website that is not as legitimate as GoFundMe, and a former member told me to beware. They almost feel like Robert's going to take some of that money. That's their opinion.
Slavik is raising funds for his dad in the Ukraine. That country is going through horrific stuff. Can't you put aside your hatred? Put aside your envy. Put aside every negative being that you have in your body, Katie Joy, and let this young man do what he needs to do for his family. You know what, at the end of the day, Katie Joy, if Robert Shinn does take a portion of that money, shame on him. But at the end of the day, Katie Joy, let this young man do what he needs to do for his family. Because quite honestly, you ain't doing shit. But I suppose after this comes out, we'll hear how you donated so many thousands to Ukraine, as per usual. But that's not the point. The point is, stay in your lane. But one thing that I do take away from this, that Katie Joy is a fantastic storyteller. And miraculously, these ex-members reached out to Katie Joy. Think about that. These ex-members reached out to not the Sun, not the Daily Mail, not even the Business Insider, let alone the New Yorker that she claims is investigating this whole thing. But they reached out to Katie Joy. I call bullshit. In my opinion, once again, Katie Joy is hiding behind sources. I don't even believe that there are sources, in my opinion. And once again, she outed a victim. How is this even okay? How is anybody supposed to feel safe telling Katie Joy their stories? It just makes no sense to me. But you guys, we all have our own opinions. You make your own judgments on how you feel about this. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to listen. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And don't forget, make good memories. Have a good one. Bye, guys.